Okay, we'll pump this video out very, very quickly. It's a very short video. The Gayfemboy malware. Apparently, this is a virus that people can get, I guess. I saw someone suggested this in Papa Gut server, and it looked like a fascinating video, so I was like, alright, I'm curious. It's a short video. We can get this out. Yeah.
Imagine getting hacked by a virus called Gayfemboy. Yeah,
You know, I'm gonna be real with you. If I got a virus that said Gayfemboy, I wouldn't even consider it a virus at this point. I'd be honored. I wear that shit like a fucking badge, if anything.
yes, it's actually a real malware. Be careful if you decide to go searching more info about it. Do not put a space in there. And as for what this
Do not put a space in there. Well, why not? I don't understand.
malware actually is, it's a botnet malware that targets networking hardware, especially like routers from Cisco, TP-Link, and others. Now, the name of this malware strain actually comes from the literal text string that it sends to its command and control server as a registration packet, basically saying, hey, here I am, I'm a new device on the botnet, and it literally sends the text to Gayfemboy as that. The creators of the malware definitely leaned into the theme, though. If I'm being honest, it's actually kind of hilarious. For example,
It's interesting. I mean, listen, there are YouTube channels dedicated to viruses and all sorts of, like, different viruses or whatever. Maybe I could do a reaction to some of those videos. That actually is, like, really fascinating stuff that I would be interested in learning. Maybe that's, like, if there's nothing else going on, maybe I could look into that. But, like, listen, Gayfemboy is definitely one of the more, I guess it's one of the more unique ones. I mean, I know the one virus where it's like, you are an idiot, ha 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 ha. I forget the name of that one, but that's like a really old classic one. I'm sure someone, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, they'll probably put it in the comments below, but I don't know. That's fascinating, I guess.
example, when it initially executes the malware, it prints the string Twinks and
Oh my god, Twinks with the cat emoticon.
the string to activate its backdoor functionality.
Meow meow. Okay, so they are really leaning into the Gayfemboy and the cats and everything. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, it is fitting for, like, what it's worth. Z-King, if you're watching this video, did you get the Gayfemboy virus on your computer? Sounds like a virus you would get. I don't mean to diss my boy, Z-King, if he happens to be watching this video.
Is meow meow. And even for the domain names of the command and control servers, just read them for yourself.
Okay, we'll read all of these. Cross-compiling. I kiss boys. Hey, listen, you know, if you don't kiss boys, I think you're gay. Hot take. Like, listen, if you don't kiss boys, you know, you might... I think everyone has a little bit of gay in them. You always have to kiss the homeboys goodnight, especially when you kiss them on the shaft of their penis, you know what I'm saying? Furry femboys. Well, listen, being a femboy is not a problem. Being a furry, though, that's a fucking crime. And I think I'm gonna have to disconnect myself from that person. Being a furry is a crime, and I can't support those people. I'm just kidding, obviously. Twink Finder. 3 GIP cam. I don't know what 3 GIP cam is. I have no idea. Oh, is it peg backwards? It's weird. Okay, I guess the femboy pegs.
It's basically one big shitpost in malware form, except it actually does do damage. Fortunately, it
So, okay, do we know the damage?
does not target desktop computers. You're not going to be having to explain to your boss or parents why your computer's been infected with the Gayfemboy virus. Rather, the malware is for adding networking hardware to a botnet for participating in DDoS campaigns, distributed denial service attacks.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so it's especially bad if you install it on, like, a server router specifically. Got it, got it. I mean, you did kind of allude to that earlier in this video.
Where basically they take over as many computers and devices as they can and kind of hide in there. And then when they get a command from the central command and control server, then they all send one massive wave of data continuously
To, like, other countries. That's actually especially dangerous with Russia specifically. Like, not for nothing, but, like, we've already been seeing, like, Russia create accounts on social media, AI-generated accounts that, like, push disinformation and, like, propaganda from those countries. The same thing with any other, like, political or humanitarian issue you can think of on the internet, right? There's, like, a lot of AI-generated accounts we're seeing now. So they're going to look at this virus and go, oh, okay, we could easily use this kind of malware to get more data about what's going on in the US here or whatever, or some dumb idiot who decides to do that here in the US and installs it to their router. That's actually very, very scary.
Towards whatever target. And
at what point do we apply that logic to someone who could infiltrate, I don't know, the fucking Pentagon or something? And if our drones run on a server, they might. I don't know how U.S. military drones work, because we're getting more and more technologically advanced as things go on. I wouldn't doubt that there's like a backlog of servers that they use. I don't know specifically, but my theory is that they might use a server backlog, and they could use, I'm not even kidding, they'll infect it with Gayfemboy virus, and Russia will forever be known as the fucking country that defeated America in World War III with Gayfemboy virus using their own drones against them. Can you imagine? This is the year 2025. This is how we live now, guys. Listen, you can't say I'm too far-fetched for thinking it. I don't know.
Because it's so much data that the hosting provider gets overwhelmed and then just takes down the site. And
damn, that's tough.
Because it's from a bunch of different legitimate IP addresses, it's really hard to block and defend against different DDoS attacks like that. There are companies like Cloudflare that do that, but it's a thing that hackers will charge money for. Now, this particular strain of malware is actually based on a different one called Mirai. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And it was actually originally seen earlier last year, but has evolved over time and become a lot more advanced since then. It's able to get a foothold into all these.
The thing about viruses is that it's a constant arms race. Like, you know, the anti-malware software and like any anti-malware software that you can find online and just anywhere, even with like Windows Defender and the constant Windows updates that people are putting out there, it's an arms race of how they can get fight these viruses better and like get rid of these viruses better. But the viruses are going to learn how to adapt against those defenses and learn how to what not to do and how to bypass them and stuff. There have even been viruses that have been able to bypass virtual machines, if you know what that is. That's how a lot of these like virus videos are made, is through virtual machines and like recording through virtual machines. It's a very fucking terrifying thing, but I think it's super rare. It's very, very rare. But viruses have been used to bypass virtual machines. Some of them, anyways, specifically. That's very terrifying. I mean, listen, I don't know if I would ever get a virtual machine and play test it at all in any capacity. It sounds like it would be like a neat experiment to do, but it's one of those don't try this at home kind of things. I'd rather not take the chance.
These different devices by exploiting vulnerabilities that are specific to those different manufacturers. So it's not just one vulnerability. All of the vulnerabilities it uses apparently have been patched in the past. So basically this is a result of businesses not keeping their stuff up to date, but still. And it also doesn't seem to be targeting any particular business sector individually. I'm guessing it's just whatever routers they find that happen to be vulnerable. Now, as for what it does if a device is actually vulnerable, initially it's able to run a command through that vulnerability to have it download a downloader script. And then that downloader script then downloads the main payload of the malware, which then runs and establishes itself. When it's initially executed, it does a lot of different tricks. For example, it will actually check for other malware infections on the system, and if it finds any, it will remove those because it doesn't want any competition. And then it just sits quietly and waits for commands from the command and control server. Although apparently it seems like it might also have crypto mining functionality in there, I guess, to make...
They always tie crypto back to everything. Gayfemboy routers, fucking, or malwares.
Additional money for the creators. And while it's running, it has a bunch of different functions it uses, like the attack.
Let me actually read some of these. Reboot, wget, tftp, tftp get, halt, curl, tail. Oh my god, it's role-playing the femboys. Curl, tail, cat, echo. Oh my god. MK FIFO, p-kill. Base 64, strings shut down. Damn, that's crazy. These are all role plays from Femboys.
One for actually doing the denial service attacks, and also another one called Monitor, which, for example, will detect whether or not the malware process has stopped and then restart it. It also tries to detect if it's running within a sandbox, like a malware analysis sandbox. And the way it
does it do that? Are you talking about virtual machines specifically? I'd be curious to know like what the thought is with virtual machines, like specifically on that.
Does it is actually pretty clever. It uses a delay that it sets at 50 nanoseconds, very small, and then detects whether or not that machine that it's running on is able to actually handle such a fine-grained delay like that. And if it's too far off, it might assume that, well, this is just a virtual environment, and then actually do a way longer delay of 27 hours. And
oh, so it does detect if it's in a virtual machine. God, these fucking people are getting so devious. I fucking knew it. The viruses were detecting if they're within like a virtual machine. Now, some of them bypass the virtual machine and actually go onto your legitimate PC, and those are the ones you should be scared of as well. Like, that one is terrifying, but like they only but it seems like this virus detects if you're on a virtual machine, but then like will only make it longer if it detects on a virtual machine, not if it won't like bypass it. It seems like, I don't think it does based on what this guy said.
That's because if it is a sandbox doing an analysis, it's probably not going to run it for that long. Apparently, it also does some...
Okay, so it's programmed to just delay it for longer and be more annoying. Okay, cool. Got it.
Kind of check of the current date compared to what it expects. And if it's older than a certain time, then it temporarily disables itself. I guess in the case of like a rollback, like if the business finds out it's been infected, does a rollback, but the malware is still on there, the malware will actually kind of deactivate temporarily so that the business might think it's good. And then,
oh, that's crazy. Those femboys are really, really trying to fuck over those business owners.
And reactivate later. So,
goddamn femboys. You know, at the end of the day, femboys are the real problem here. They are. And we need to, the biggest problem is that they make all of us fucking goon too quickly. And we gotta go for a little longer, you know? I wanna last at least a good fucking hour, man. Come on. Make me work for it.
If you work in an enterprise environment, definitely make sure all your equipment is up to date. You definitely don't want to have to explain this one to your boss. But for...
Yeah, I mean, like, it goes without saying, but, like, constantly do Windows updates, constantly, like, get better, like, you know, antivirus software. I know spyware is a good one. It's an oldie, but it's always been a goodie. I've always relied on spyware. Spyware is generally a very good one that I've always enjoyed. Windows Defender has gotten pretty damn good as well. You know, like, it's gotten a lot of updates, and it's been pretty solid. I wouldn't say Windows Defender is the best antivirus software you can get. Malwarebytes is always a good one to have. It's always generally a good one. Yeah.
Regular home users, you probably don't have to worry about this one. But in any case, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you want to keep watching, here's a video where I talked about a recent Windows update that could be killing SSDs. You might actually want to consider rolling back that update. I talk about that over there. So,
oh boy, I have an SSD. That could be problematic. Hopefully it's not fear-mongering.
I'll put that link right there you can click on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
All right, you know what? That was short, sweet, and straight to the point.